Hello everyone, so my name is Danielle. I'm from Cageless Readings. So today's pick a card reading is specifically for those who were cheated on in their relationships. I'm okay if you are broken up with them, and I also feel like it will be okay if you are still in relationship with them or marriage with them, depending on your status. Maybe you're not actually with them right now, but you are still technically married. Anyways, so that's just what I'm holding the intention for. Originally today, I was gonna do like a super empowering, I wrote down like a list of different card readings I was gonna do, and I was so excited to get them all done today, and then like I found out some deeper layers into the relationship that I am recently getting out of, and I was just so angry. I was so angry, so it took me a few hours to breathe, get a little more centered, and be like, all right, I need to do a pick a card reading today. What can I do that kind of honors how I'm feeling, but also honors and brings guidance for you? So I am actually going to leave it up to just what does your highest self want you to know right now. I've just realized some people think they're giving you great advice during breakups or when shitty things happen, and I hate it when people are telling you that like this is all for your best, or like this is probably a secret blessing in disguise. Like, I don't know, maybe you're in that place in your life where you're like, this seems really nice to hear right now, but for me, that is like 20 steps ahead of where I am. And if you're like me, I was like, you just need a card reading that gives you advice right now, because maybe that is true. Maybe it will be for your highest good, but that's just like shit you don't want to hear right now. So that's the intention for this pick a card reading. Is what does your higher self want you to know right now for those who have been cheated on in their relationships, whether you're broken up with them, separated, or if you are trying to see if you want to give them a chance. So that being said, let's clear the energy a little bit. Oop, that was actually totally by mistake. I just picked it up and they dinged. So yeah, let's clear the energy. Let's ground ourselves as best as we can. I understand that right now you're probably not feeling as grounded and as like yourself as you probably normally would like to feel. So that's just why we're going to do this, just to try to help you out a little bit. So just to help ground and recenter yourself, clear anything that's not serving you. Okay, it feels a little bit better. So that all being said, pile one, the card you have to choose from is this Rejected Heart. It says transforms heartbreak into inner strength. It has two people on it and they're in a shape of a heart, but to me this card looks like the one is pushing away from the other. Wounded. And then pile two, we have Healing Heart, and it says face your shadow and grow. And it just has like a picture of a heart being held in someone's hand, and then like a shadow of a person with their hand out. So it almost looks like they're maybe reaching for it, or maybe trying to say no. It's funny, I feel like I've been called to like depict the pictures in these pick a card readings, and I have asked myself that a few times, why am I doing that? And I think I come to realize maybe some people here maybe are visually can't see very well or something like that, or you're just watching this as you're like doing something in the kitchen and you can't see the images. And so maybe when I describe the picture you're like, oh, that sounds like what pile I need. So I don't know, I've realized I do that a lot of my videos, and I just keep doing it because I feel like it's benefiting someone. So anyways, pile three's option is Curious Heart. embark on a great adventure. And this card is just very like gold to me. Like she has a golden sun in her hair. It's like bronze plated or something like that. She seems curious, as the card suggests, and her heart is glowing with like a gold hue to it, but she's starting just to uncover it. So seems like an interesting card. So anyways, that is your pile options. The card we're going to be pulling with is Alana Fairchild's deck. Sorry, I'm looking for the actual name of it because I can't remember. Medicine, is that what it's called? Medicine Heart deck. If you've seen it before, I've always been drawn to it, but I finally just went for it and purchased it. So I'm going to shuffle this and see what cards come out for all of you. And then just depending on how I feel the information's flowing, I might just do like a quick pull from the messages from the fairies. And they're just all about self-love and knowing your value and having like that joy again. So we'll see if I end up pulling these or not, but that's just my intention for now. So anyways, I'll see you all in your card piles. Hello, my beautiful pile ones. Okay, so if you've chosen this one, you've chosen the rejected heart transforms heartbreak into inner strength. This one is so interesting because, and I feel like I kind of blew it away in the pile selection, where I had such the impression that this one was going to be someone who was really, really devastated by the actions that their partners had taken against them, because I feel like I see this person, you know, I don't know, you let me know if this makes sense, but I just see this person who like confesses. I feel like they confess to their actions, and then I see what I am perceiving as you in this visual pushing away from them from just like the blow, like it just hurt so bad, surprised, and I just, yeah, I feel like devastated, like just all that, I don't know, like going fully into protecting yourself. But then it feels strange because I can see that it's like you still feel drawn to them to some degree, and then they're not totally letting you go. So it's so interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see a little more details here, because I just and the more I tune into, the more I feel like there's layers where it's like, oh, I don't know. I don't actually know if you are like hanging on to each other in like a romance way, or if it's more so because like when I see your hands against this person, I feel like I see that they were like welded to them. So I wonder if in some cases, some of you like feel like you wish you could fully pull away, but there's something going on in the dynamic that makes you feel stuck with them. Still not fully to fully pull back or fully pull away. So interesting. So interesting. I almost do wonder then if in this pile maybe you do have like maybe you were married, so maybe you had like a house with them, and you don't have to be married. I don't know. I feel like there's like complex ties. Like the welding visual was just, I mean, that's pretty intense, right? It means like there's some serious systems that need to get sorted for you to be unraveled from them or like removed from them. So I do feel like, yeah, it could be children, could be pets, could be business, home, maybe it's all that. And I also feel like somebody here, it's like I feel like you're so financially dependent on them for some people here. So it is interesting. I'm feeling like this connection is more in separation, but there is just like those heavy things you can't separate yourself from, like government stuff, official stuff, taxes, I don't know, things like that. So that being said, if that resonates, that's probably a pretty good energy check for this pile for you to know if this is going to be guidance for you. Yeah, and the more I tune into it, I do really feel like financially, that's why I usually feel like kids are involved, because usually one partner will take on more responsibility of the household or the kids, and then one will be making a little more money, usually the one who has more time. So I usually just would kind of assume it's whoever wasn't taking care of like the kids' activities, or maybe you have like a dog that needs a lot of medical help or something like that. I don't know. I get that impression. Which also I just really have to add in. I feel like this means that you held a lot of the emotional support and weight of the relationship and the responsibilities, where I feel like they were holding more of just like the financial, I want to say the financial pillars of the household or structure. It's weird. I don't know. It feels like it was like heavier for you always in this dynamic too, which is really interesting. Really interesting that that's coming through, because I almost feel a little confused too. If you're the one who's cheating on, why this person cheated, when it feels like you took on all the emotional stress for them, which I don't know. Let's just pull some more cards. That might bring more clarity to me. Because right now I'm just basically intuitively trying to read your guys' energy as a group, and what's coming through. So yeah, let's ask some Alana Fairchild cards, because I feel like this deck is just really great for people in transition times who are really struggling. So that being said, if you're someone who kind of is interested in purchasing an oracle card deck, this could be a good one for you if you're going through challenges right now, because it's a very great deck for getting you where you're at, recognizing the challenge there, and giving you some guidance on how to gently start shifting out of it. But it comes from a really like a place of compassion and love, versus where I feel like some people, like I was saying in the intro, are just like, they're just jumping right for the next step and they're not meeting you where you're at. They're like, oh well, that obviously wasn't good for you, so good thing you're out of this situation now. Well, it's like, actually I'm still in the most hard emotional part of it, so I can't see what you're jumping into, because I'm in the grieving, I'm in the chaos and confusion. So anyways, great deck if you've been thinking about that. So anyways, my question for this pile just is, what does your absolute highest self, the one that knows what's best for you and what you need right now, what do they want you to know about this situation with your ex? Those who've been cheated on for that one. Okay, I'm gonna give you. Okay, cool. So, oops, throwing these around. We have, okay, I forgot. The one thing is that I can't really pronounce the names very well. So we have Siba Yaks Chi, number 7, which is actually a very interesting card. So drawn to her hair and how there's tangles, and I feel like it's all knotted and messy for some reason. Okay, 38, Nest at the North. We have 16, Nangapa. It has a rooster. She has a rooster on her head. We have 17, Toe, the hummingbird. We have 22, Hu Yi. And we have She-Wolf of the South. I love this card. And we have 24, Macaw and Cacao. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. I feel like these two are kind of referring to a different vibe. Here. I feel like this is kind of like guidance, and then this is kind of like the deeper wisdom of the situation. So let's talk about these cards over here first before we look into this. And also like the colors. I mean, just, I don't know, so much grounding and rooting and stuff. And yeah, so much red, so much like upheaval, so much inner child stuff coming up. So I just to quickly say, like, I feel like what's going to be coming through on this side here is going to be talking about where other people have made you feel this way in your life. I feel like that's really what's coming through, and I feel like you finishing with that cycle. So like whenever I'm the macaw and cacao, whenever I see cacao, I just think of like really seeing things deeply from like the higher perspective. So like seeing the situation, seeing your struggle in it, seeing how the behavior, how am I trying to say that? What the behavior brought out in you. So I don't know, like cacao is just so correlated with like Mother Earth and like the divine feminine and really holding space for you. So when I see this, I feel like I just see like your mom coming through, like that, not like specifically your mom, like just like a very loving, kind, supportive mom coming through. And just like, I don't know, like I almost just feel like it gives me the energy of like it's okay to cry, it's okay to just feel all these like your worst fears come through and up, and her just holding space for you, which is funny. So I wonder for this pile if you have heard of cacao ceremonies. I don't know if they're like a niche thing or just a trendy thing here, or if they're just becoming pretty popular everywhere. I really don't know, but I don't know why I'm even talking about this message spiritual. I wanted to go over here, but I just feel like if you've been drawn to like true cacao, like dark chocolate, even maybe you've just been eating a lot of really dark chocolate, or you're wanting like those, there's like these mushroom elixirs with cacao in them, like, you know, like reishi, it's good for like your, I don't know, like stress or mind or cognitive function, lion's mane, like those mushroom hot chocolate things. I don't know. I feel like you can see this pile getting into that. And I feel like when you drink it, you close your eyes and you like connect into your heart. And I feel like somehow, like through the medicine of the cacao, that like Mother Earth or this like divine mother is like helping support you, which I know all this sounds kind of odd in some ways, but I feel like you guys are at the end of a limiting belief cycle. So like whatever we're gonna see in a second, because I will go deeper, but whatever belief is coming through, like I don't know, I'm thinking in my relationship, for example, like my greatest fear was that I didn't show someone love. I guess it's hard to put like a deep thing into words, but like my fear was to have not been treated by other people well and not show other people how much I loved them, or and then lose them because I didn't show them how much I loved them, or they didn't know how much I loved them. Like that was such a deep fear that came through for me in my just recent breakup. And then I realized like it went deeper in the fear, and it's just like turns out like that's not even, it has nothing to do with like why the relationship end, but unfortunately our partners can kind of mirror our deepest fears, and we will take our, like if they're projecting our fear at us, we will take it. And I feel like for you, I don't think that's the same fear thing that's going on for you, but I feel like there's something there like that for you. So maybe you've always felt like you weren't enough in a relationship, like you don't go far enough. I feel like there could be something closer to that, just with the weight of the emotion. Like you guys seriously were holding so much baggage of the relationship. Like it's crazy. Like I feel into them and they feel like, don't get me wrong, like they feel like they have their own problems, but around the relationship, there's no stress around the relationship and the emotional weight of getting things done or like things being okay. Like I don't feel any of that. I feel like you took it all on, and there's some sort of belief system here. I feel like maybe when they cheated, they were trying to justify their behavior on saying like, well, I was just really stressed, I didn't know what to do, I didn't feel supported by you, I didn't feel like you were even present with me. I don't know if I'm saying this the exact things, but I feel like your fear in a similar way to myself was sort of put out there as the reason or the excuse for their behavior. But the thing is like you were doing more than your fair share of their taking on the responsibilities, taking on the accountability. And like I said, it's so strong that you guys are taking on all the emotional stress. Like so much. It's so heavy. And then I feel like, I don't know, I even feel like this is why it hurts so much when it came out at first. So I do feel like for this pile, I feel like there's been separation for a little bit. And whether if that was actually verbally discussed or if you've just felt separated from them for a while, because although there's still like this frustration and this pain, like it feels like you really come to terms with it to some degree, but it feels so important to really reiterate to you like this. I feel like you guys are saying this is all my fault, or at some point you were saying this was all your fault, and that is so not true. So I don't know why the cacao it just keeps coming up, cacao ceremony, cacao ceremony. So I don't know if you've been invited to one, or if you've been thinking about it, or if you really are just, you're doing this already. But I just feel like I can see you in meditation. And before you start the meditation, you connect in with like this sacred cacao sort of ceremony where you connect your heart to it, you give it a blessing and an intention. And I see you drinking it, and then I feel like I can see you guys journaling or meditating on what you want to bring forward in the future. Like, it's so interesting because I feel like when I just think about the physical things I'm saying to do, and maybe even when I'm explaining it to you, you're having the same impression where it's like, how's that really going to change anything? But I don't know why it is just so resonating with your guys' energy to be healing and supporting. And I even think it's like, like cacao, like it brings dopamine, like there's actual dopamine benefits, I guess. I can't quite remember how the chemicals all work, but like something in chocolate does help create dopamine in your brain, or serotonin. No, I think it is dopamine. Anyways, don't like take me 100% on that fact, but I know it does help produce that in some way. And I feel like it just feels so clearing, and it feels so sacred to you. I almost wonder if this is like past lifey stuff coming forward, like maybe in our past life you worked a lot with cacao or something like that, or I don't know, there's always been something comforting about it for you. There's such a deep connection to it, and it feels like it's going to help you feel safe in your body and remind you of your own power to overcome and be like, it's just, it's funny because as I'm recording it, I think I just saw that like, what is it, Mercury's in retrograde. So I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna have a hard time communicating, or feel like I'm having a hard time communicating what I'm trying to say. And I feel like I am, because it's like such a deep principle and it's gonna do so much, and I feel like I am re-explaining it and trying to rehash it out, but I'm not quite getting it conveyed, just why it feels so powerful for you. Anyways, maybe we'll just drop that for now, because we are going to come back to that. I really do want to talk about these cards over here. And I feel like I'll have more to say about this still. But so much She-Wolf is all about personal power, all about coming into your own, and whatever limiting beliefs you may have picked up or have started to show their face around you not thinking you can handle this, or thinking that I think anything bad of yourself, even like anything to do with you not being strong enough, smart enough, courageous enough, you name it, that is just like going to fall away, because the She-Wolf is just like recognizing your true power and beauty and value in this world. So that is just such a strong thing coming in for you. So just moving a little bit over to these cards at the start. So the first things that draw me in here is like this nesting stuff. Like there's birds in her hair. There's like a rooster on this person's head. And then like this hair feels like there's like ropes and like nesting material. I guess there's birds literally trying to nest there. So a big thing I'm seeing here for guidance about just right now in all this chaos, like I definitely feel like for you guys there is like this sort of mayhem energy coming through for you. So what does that mean? I feel like you're still kind of maybe feeling like unstable in yourself. So how would I put that? Like, I feel like maybe you're confused. Like, some moments you feel a little more clear on like what happened, what's going on, what your future looks like, what to do, all those like freaking wormholes that our brains can go on. And then all of a sudden, like, you're just as confused about it all as you were the other day, or at the very first moment you found out about all this. And you feel like that's like it feels exhausting, very exhausting for you. And it's just also where I was really saying, like, when people are coming to you and they're saying like, don't worry, this will all sort itself out, I don't feel like that kind of support is helpful. And maybe you've even noticed that. Like, I feel like for you guys, you're in a place where you just need the kind of friends who can hear your frustrations and your struggles, hear you out, because I kind of feel like this is all circulating your head, and then when you speak about it, even if you're repeating yourself, I think that helps. Just remind yourself about how you're feeling and expresses it. It gets it literally out of your head. So yeah, friends who then don't, what is it called? Grieve? Grief hijacking? Grief hijacking or something like that. Like it's so fascinating, like going through experiences like this, because it really becomes clear that our society does not know how to support each other very often. So you feel like maybe you'll be in these moments where you're just trying to, like, someone will say how are you, and then you just go to say something, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, like this one time, like this thing happened to me, and like man, and like they just go on a whole story about themselves, but they've like come to support you. Those kind of people, I know they mean well and they are doing the best that they can, but those kind of people are not the kind of people you need to be around right now, okay? I feel like maybe you've picked up on this. I'm just reaffirming this or confirming this for you, because like you need this nesting energy. You need people who are good at being support, who are good at listening, reminding you of who you are, reminding you of this isn't all your fault. This, whatever this fear is coming up, like I said, I really feel like it's like feeling like you didn't do enough, feeling like um, there's more you need to do. And then also, I feel like you need people who are reminding you that you can hold your own feet on the ground, because I feel like this is the other thing, is like this person made you feel like you couldn't support yourself, you couldn't do it on your own. But actually, you're quite capable, you're quite strong. And that's why I feel like such another big guidance coming through is it's so important for this pile right now to understand that you need to get grounded. You need to just slow down. And that can be a really frustrating thing to hear, but all this confusion and all this like insanity, that I feel like that's the best word I know for it, is just like it's almost like obsessive thinking over here and there, and you can't help it. This is all just part of the process. So just slowing down and giving yourself space and time to experience that will actually be what brings you back to your center the fastest. And it, I don't know, like this card here, these three here, all talk about needing to ground and reconnect with yourself, your heart, your dreams, what you want. And I know that is so hard to do sometimes when we are just in the thick of all this. So it's just saying, whatever excites you the most, do that. And that's as simple as it is. And I really am trying to be clear with my communication here, because I know that you're probably feeling pretty lost within yourself. Very ungrounded, like I'm getting lots of confirmations about you feeling very ungrounded, very unsure about anything. And it's just saying like, so maybe you had all these dreams and now you're confused because those dreams don't even feel like they excite you anymore. It's okay. You don't need to figure that out right now. You just put it in a different pile for later when you feel ready for it. And now you just move on to, okay, this is very divine feminine, okay? Just going in and being like, all right, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling confused? Am I feeling like I need support? Am I feeling like I need to go eat something? Am I feeling like I need to go do a physical activity to get my mind off of something, or to express some of this emotion that's feeling pumped up? You just ask yourself, what do I need right now? Like, what excites me? So maybe it's a bike ride, maybe it's going for a run, maybe it's just a hot bath, maybe it's like I just need to lie on the floor and listen to some music and cry my face off right now. That is also a very possible thing that you're allowed to do. And it's really coming back to, you're not gonna know how you feel maybe in 3 hours tomorrow. Like tomorrow is like a whole nother thing. You don't even know what you're gonna dream about tonight. You don't even know like how, if you're even gonna be able to sleep. So don't worry about that right now. You are just honoring just what you need right now in this moment. And then once that moment has passed, you check in with yourself and you're like, what do I need now? What would I like to do now? Or what could I do for myself now? And you just go from that so deeply self-honoring place and you make the next choice. And also I should say, all these cards do talk about like the universe has got your back through this. Like it seems so hard, but if you can just trust, listen to what you need right now, the universe is going to support you. So if you're like, I really need to support a friend, because maybe as I was like, talking about all this, you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the issue I've been running into. Like, I have a friend over, or say like my mom or a family member, and they are just like making it all about them, and I'm the one who needs support. Like I need support. I'm so not okay right now. I need to just talk this through. I need to like actually be able to share what I'm going through. That might be something that you're really realizing, and I can't remember where I was going with that. Like that might just be something that you just needed a confirmation on. Um, yeah, so much about finding those comforting nests. Okay. Anyways, hummingbirds. So many birds, guys. So many birds. Are those blue jays? I don't know what kind of birds those are. They look cute though. Hummingbird and rooster. So crazy. Lots of bluebirds too. Okay. And isn't even this flower called some kind of bird feather? Some bird flower of some sort? I don't know. Don't know what's up with the birds, guys. Breaking free, seeing things clearer, seeing things from the higher perspective, seeing things for what they are. I actually would say that's a big theme here too, seeing things for how they are. And yeah, so anyways, this Hu Yi card that comes through is saying, like, if you look at the energy behind this card is, to me, very sad. It's like, to me, this card just represents having lived through hardship. And like, I just look at the eyes in this card and I feel like they just nailed it. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's someone who outwardly is strong to other people, but internally is like, I feel all the emotions. I am not as strong as people think I am. I am just here, and I feel like there's so much sadness. And the thing with this card is it talks all about, even though things seem so shitty or so hard or devastating or heartbreaking, this card talks so much about knowing that cycles are not repeating. Cycles are changing. Things are working out and things are going to get better. Like I said, we don't always really need to hear that in the exact moment, but I feel like it's just like, your higher self is like, we need to start telling you that, because you need to make sure someone is telling you that these cycles are not going to repeat. I don't know if this is something that is on your mind a lot, because it did come up a few times over here where it's saying like, you are at the end of this. You learning this lesson. You are not taking on all the emotional responsibility. You're not taking all the responsibilities for what other people's actions were, whether they're saying it was your fault, whether they're saying they couldn't be accountable for their emotions, whatever it was. This is not on you. And I feel like you were really slowly, and this is where I feel like maybe it fluctuates, but I feel like you're more often than not starting to really feel that it is not your stuff. It's not all your fault. Now, yeah. Okay, so I am debating these cards. Like I said, I just so love the guidance with them and in the guidebook. I almost want to read all of the cards out of the guidebook for you or something. But I feel like that would be a little bit much because they're quite long. But I am just like, maybe I'll do it for a couple of them, because like the card I really feel like is a really big theme. Well, the she-wolf, these two just feel so big. I feel like this is just you coming into your own, coming over this, like, I really do feel like repeating belief system or wounding that has come through. So it definitely starts with like parents. You're probably overly accountable for your parents' emotions when you were a kid, taking on a lot of the responsibility of maybe like your family's dynamics in some way. I don't totally know for sure, but that would be how I'm seeing it would look. And then, yeah, this is like, oh, they're such powerful cards though. Like, I feel like it's like truly like being reborn and like a living belief that has held you back, I think, since the beginning of time, being released, and you just, not being unstoppable. That is like the words I want to say. But anyways, this toe card, it does talk a lot about, well, it's so funny, I kept getting the analogy, gears are turning in your head. That really threw me off, and then I was paying attention to her third eye being activated. Okay, So I really feel like for this card, it's really conveying just the messages that there's so many around, like the universe is coming, everything's coming together. And I'm like, why is that such a big thing? Like, I mean, astrologically, as I'm doing this, like, this is such a big thing that, like, basically truths can't be held back. People who really aren't aligned with you cannot stay with you. And I feel like I'm getting that vibe for this pile. Like, this person, like, was just eventually gonna come through their actions and the deceit. I feel like there was betrayal, obviously, with trust and all that. Because I don't know, I keep getting that they might have confessed to some degree of this other person, but I do feel like maybe it's because they're worried they're about to get caught in it or something, or maybe they're gonna pursue a relationship with them, so then they're like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to, like, say it. But I just feel like there's just, like, this deeper level of betrayal from this partner of yours, around the whole thing. And maybe it's because they're still lying about aspects of it and it just feels so unnecessary to you or something like that. But yeah, this, you know what, maybe I will just read some of the cards from the guidebook, because honestly the words are so good. And I do feel like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll just do that. Let's just find one here. I feel like it will save me all the time of reiterating things in a way that I don't feel like is very clear. So the one that I like, let's maybe do this one here. The one I really want to talk about is, yeah, these ones I feel like are all talking about divine timing. So anyways, so here we have the Hu Yi. It says, you are doing better, have traveled further, and are getting closer than you realize, that you may not yet see evidence of it. Your steady application of will and intention is coalescing, I don't know, into a liberating potency. You shall have your sacred outcome, but you must submit to the greater wisdom of universal cycles and divine timing. You do not need to react or rush. Keep your mind open and relax into the process. There is no need to tire yourself with ruminating on what has been or what may come. Habitual thoughts and compulsive behavior can yoke the mind to stultifying rigidity. Yet you are gestating a new consciousness strong enough to liberate yourself into a softer, more spontaneous and expansive presence. Give your inner work time to take shape and gather sufficient spiritual strength, at which point you will leap and reap the reward. Freed into new activity and accomplishing your soul's tasks at the opportune moment. So I just love this because it is saying, like, I don't know, like, for me, if you're anything like myself, like, my mind is just fixating on certain things that don't really matter, but it, like, needs the closure. It, like, wants to figure out the thing so that it can then move on. But the problem is I don't have all the information. So my mind can't figure out all of it. There's so much that it can't actually figure out because someone would need to tell me the truth. Someone would need to give me that information. And I feel like you're kind of in a similar place. But I actually feel like this comes up for some of you who are dealing with separating with kids, and feeling like so uncertain about what the outcome's going to look like, how it's all going to be, how it's all going to work out. I just feel like such a strong impression around just not understanding how the kids are going to get sorted out. But for what I'm hearing here is just, like, understanding that it is all going to work out for you. And stressing about it is exhausting, and kind of makes you feel more of that ungrounded, unstable energy that I'm kind of, like, picking up here, where it just, like, feels so uncertain. And I know it's so hard to tell your brain to stop worrying about it, but that's just the message coming through, so sorry about that. And then the other one, let's next talk about this one, because I feel like I also was feeling like some of you who are parents, you feel like it's like there's you who's kind of like got your own stuff you just need to focus on right now, but then you're also trying to be like a parent and protective and look out for your kids and see what's coming and being able to see what's might come and catch you off guard. One of the words I'm literally saying is, you see what might stab you in the back, which is just such an unfortunate energy to be feeling right now. So it's just so interesting. I feel like this is talking so much about going within, and trusting all that. So anyways, this card here, the Nangapa, says to heal inner pain, the soul may need to investigate the darkness within. Venturing directly into our suffering can help us understand underlying issues and what will ultimately bring peace. So, purposeful descent into suffering to liberate pain is a transitory process. Pain is not a place to permanently dwell. Okay, that's really important. We try to fix ourselves too much or try to go into the pain too much. That becomes too heavy. That is too much for us. But to go in with the intention of seeing or seeking out what keeps coming up and causing us pain and suffering and issues, like this limiting belief, is really what I'm picking up on. I don't know if you're picking up on that. But anyways, but rather a place to pass. So pain is not a place to dwell, but rather a place to pass through in order to transform one's being and one's life for the better. It can be difficult to find the courage to enter our suffering, and also difficult to find the courage to not become stuck or embittered. You are traversing a path that is ultimately leading you towards the light, though it may first lead you through darkness. Stay connected to the instincts that tell you good things are on their way, and do not allow your mind to become clouded by doubt or fear. Allow such thoughts and emotions to pass by like shifting weather. Stay steady and persevere, but keep your experiences in their proper context as a healing journey that will resolve itself. As it will resolve itself. This is how I'm really feeling that for those with, it's like government and kids. I don't know why. I just feel like this guidance feels also very tied to that. Also, obviously tied to like this not repeating this injury, this wounding, these type of partners you've previously attracted in your life. You don't feel like it's repeating. Like this lesson, you are learning so deeply. Okay, so just trust me when I say like this is the end of this shit. This is the end of it. I feel like I really want you to know that. You know, you're figuring out. Maybe you don't totally understand all of it yet, but you're gonna make it through this, and it's all gonna become clear. And you will see the red flags. You will understand. I feel like even that limiting belief within yourself will be released, that these types of dynamics won't even be attractive to you. Like there was no lesson to learn there from them. So it will not even be something where you're drawn in by it, because it will be gone. So anyways, this will resolve itself. That which was dark shall become light. That which brought suffering, there's a typo there. I'm pretty sure that's not a real word. That which brought suffering shall become your key to freedom. Be reassured, beloved, for the rising of the light is imminent. Yeah, the rooster signifies the break of dawn. It's honored as a symbol of the sun, resurrection, masculine potency, and good fortune throughout numerous cultures of our world. Rooster is a powerful symbol for the rising light and triumph of the good. In a spiritual sense, this refers to the ending of a time of suffering and struggle, and the timely arrival of a clarity, understanding, and spiritual mastery, generating peace, happiness, and relief. So feel that for you guys. I do like when I tune into this collective's energy for this pile, because I know you're all going to be a little bit different, because unfortunately general readings are just like that, but I feel like there's some of you who are just, I feel are like, I'm not getting the clarity yet, I'm not there, but I feel like it really is saying it's just around the corner if you've chosen this pile. Like it's gonna hit you. And a big thing I keep getting, like, I mean, even with my own experience, and it's so interesting being more into the spiritual stuff during this whole breakup and everything, is that I realized like what I need for my healing finds me. So like ruminating on like certain situations, they do get resolved, and I do get the clarity that I need. But it comes to me. I can't think it through when I focus and brain think and basically drive my own self crazy or feel very ungrounded or unstable. That doesn't get me anywhere other than making me literally start to question my own sanity. And not feel like myself. And I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of that tendency around court ordering stuff, government stuff, for this pile, and worrying about kids. And I also feel like I see that around trying to understand what you could have done differently in this dynamic. Something along those lines, because I feel like it keeps taking me back here. Okay. Trying to think. You know what? Let's read one more. Let's read this one, because this is like the card where I was like so drawn to it, the cacao card. I don't know why. I feel like this is so potent for you guys. And we're going to find out in a second here, because I read it for you. And then hopefully that brings you the clarity, or a piece of clarity, that really just helps your heart settle on around this subject a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the 24 one here, and I almost wonder if I should read it's so long. Maybe you guys have this deck. Maybe that's just the thing. Maybe you have this. Maybe we're gonna get it, because I feel like I want to read everything for you, because I feel like it's just gonna hit home all the pages that she writes per card. But it's too much to read, and I stumble over my words a lot, so I feel like it's even hard sometimes to listen to me read it to you. So I'll just read you a little bit, and then maybe I'll like scan quick and just stop where I feel drawn. But it says, within you shines a radiant spiritual power, vibrational resonance, which can attract all good things into your life. Make peace with your experience, an expression of power, aligning yourself with your heart, and knowing that as you enrich your interiority with sacred practices to support your soul, you will imbue expressions of power with compassionate wisdom. It is spiritually safe for you to be empowered, and you can be so with consciousness and kindness. Earth Mother is generous and provides your soul with opportunity, means, and method through which your true self will actualize for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Use your power to flow rather than force, and you will rally tremendous support for rapid manifestations. Yeah, so in case you're still not picking from the theme, there's so much about how, despite all this weird shit going on, it keeps saying like the universe is like on your side. You are going to make it through this. Everything's happening in flow and for your highest good, which, like, funny enough, at the start I was saying was such an annoying thing to hear from people. But like, you are in the next level of flow. Like, it's just, I actually really feel like this situation that happened, although in the moment maybe didn't feel freeing for you, it feels like it really is freeing your soul. And I think it's even like sort of from like illusion to some degree, illusion on who you are and what you're capable of, illusion on your value, because this partner confirmed a lower value of yourself, if that makes sense, because you are way more valuable than what this person saw. And it's so crazy. I almost feel like it's like seeing someone who thought the whole world was like this little glass box that they lived in, and then finally someone comes over and goes, I can't handle that this person doesn't know that there's so much more out there, and takes the box and breaks it, and then goes, now you can be truly free. I feel like that is the analogy I see what's going on. So for the little doesn't know, like, the universe comes and breaks the box, and they don't realize totally that how much turmoil and chaos that actually is causing. I mean, it does in some degree, but then once the person in the box can like ground themselves, like realize the illusion they were living in and digest that and take the time they need to digest that and grieve that, I feel like then there's just such unlimited possibility to flourish after that. And I feel like that's like the best way I can describe your guys' situation. Like, you really do just need time to digest, grieve, get a grasp on your new reality, for lack of better words. But I feel like, weirdly enough, it set you free to experience things that you were so deserving to experience, and to a higher, more loving range than you could have in the situation you were in before. I really do feel like almost like this partner was holding you back, for lack of better words, because they couldn't bring you or offer you the level of, I even feel like, I keep getting the word value, like they didn't value you to the level you wanted to be valued at or loved by or appreciated for, or like I don't know, it's such an interesting thing to see from this perspective, because I can see how like it doesn't seem nice to have broken that box at all. It seemed really fucked up. But then it's like, oh, but what if everything you had could be 100 times better? And it's, I don't know, I'm someone who struggles with that because I'm like, well, easier said than done. But eventually maybe you'll come to a place where you will feel that, because I don't know, you have to just keep saying like there's so much energy about supporting you and flowing you into the next higher thing. As long as your only job right now is to honor yourself, to take the slowness, the slower path, and just, I keep getting that analogy, build your nest, create a supportive place for you, a place where you can just not be emotionally responsible for other people's shit when you're needing support. It's such a big thing, I feel, for this pile. Yeah, I feel like you're just still being such a support for other people. Okay, that all being said, been rambling for a little while now. Okay, should we do like a different guidance card? Do you guys need a different guidance card? It's heavy. I feel like it's just heavy, but I get to where you're at. It's a lot to digest, you guys. You literally just take it process by process, because it's just a lot. Like I was saying, I feel like that glass box is just like such a good analogy for you, because I think that's basically the best thing I can think of just to describe it. And anything else? Okay, interesting. So we have practice, practice, practice. With daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. Patience, please. Okay, so what I'm really seeing for here, guys, practice. I really feel like this is just even talking about, like, I feel like if you're like, I don't know how to get my brain to stop, or I don't know how to like stop worrying about that, or I don't know how to like stop having some tendencies or cycles or patterns or behaviors, coping mechanisms. I feel like it's really just saying like, don't worry, like you're getting better and better every day. Like this is something where actually I should just straight up say this. Like I feel like your higher self is like, I know you're gonna crush this. I know this is so fucking hard. I know this is really challenging, but you're gonna crush this. You are gonna figure it out. It feels overwhelming right now, but you just take it step by step. I don't even know why I see that. Like practice, practice, practice. I feel like it's just take it day at a time, moment by moment. Be gentle with yourself, nurturing with yourself. You just keep tuning into, what do I need right now? What is actually what I want to do right in this moment? Do I want to go to that thing I said I would go to? Or do I just need to stay home and cry? Do I just need to go stay home and like sit in a bath? Do I just need to listen to this song? Do I need to sing a song? Do I need to dance this out? Like whatever it is, that is your answer. That is the right thing for you. And whenever I see spiritual teacher, I do always get parent energy. And just knowing that, like, as you honor yourself, you role model that to others greater than you could ever share any actual information. So I don't know why I just get that. Spring, your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. I kind of like this because to me, I feel like this is kind of encouraging that I know I'm trying to ask, sorry, quickly. I'm like, spring is in literal spring for them, but I feel like it's more like an energy, like you'll come out of this winter, like this coldness, this like feeling like there's so much time where I feel like you probably feel like you need support, but also so much time where you feel like you need to be by yourself and just like feel your emotions, or handle things or do things. And I feel like when I see spring, it's like you are gonna come. Spring will come. Things will ease up. Things will get easier. And I like that the butterfly is such a beautiful symbol. Like things are gonna change, and the change feels good. Your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. I really like that. It really is just saying like what you are excited about Like we said earlier, if it's different than what they used to be, that's okay. You just keep moving towards what you're excited about, and that will keep finding its way in for you, okay? All right, I just wish you the best of luck with all this. And just take it day by day, hour by hour, actually. I take that back. Screw day to day. No one knows how a whole day is going to go, you know? Just hour by hour, minute by minute, you know, you just slow it down and you make that supportive nest for yourself, you know? You make sure you're doing good, okay? And the cacao thing, for sure, I don't know why. I feel like meditation, cacao ceremonies, something really, really connecting there for you. Okay, before I just officially let you go, let's clear the energy a little bit. But yeah, I feel like you guys feel very reflective right now. That's the vibe I'm getting. So it feels a little bit better. But yeah, just wishing you the best of luck, okay? And I'll catch you around maybe. Hello, Pile 2. So you chose Healing Heart, Face Your Shadow, and Grow. So cool. I feel like there's like something in the heart here. Kind of looks like a snake. It also kind of looks like a river to me, and it makes me think of the shamanic practices where I guess like the one where I was taught where everyone has their own river within them, and it always changes how it's flowing, what it looks like, based off of, you know, what you're going through. So I don't know why. Maybe that just means something to you. So I'll just shout it out there. Yeah, this card is so intriguing to me. So when I try to pick up the vibe on this, I am like a little like, whoa, there's a lot going on. It's so interesting. Like what I feel like I see is someone who's like so open-hearted, who is just ready to just put everything their heart, despite how imperfect or perfect it might perceive to be. Like I feel like it was just put out there. And then I feel like I see like the shadow. It's so interesting. Like the shadow, I can't tell if it's like the other person's shadow came in and kind of grabbed it or like hurt it, or if it's almost like this event that's being cheated on has just kind of altered the heart and made it not feel safe. I don't know. Face your shadow and grow. So interesting. I actually kind of didn't do this for the last file, but I kind of actually want to read what the heck this card is about, because I feel like it's a big theme for why you might have chosen it. And it's kind of fluctuating me. Okay, so it says, Dear Heart, I know you have experienced neglect, rejection, disappointment, and betrayal from those you loved and cared about. This has hurt you deeply and made aspects of your inner self shut down or even wilt away. On some level, you are still holding on to old trauma, whether it was abuse from your childhood, humiliation or disloyalty from someone you loved, cruelty from those you trusted, or a failure in a relationship or business. Over time, old wounds that have not been lovingly met and healed can fester and sabotage your future. Rather than being open to love, you can shut out those who could appreciate, cherish, and encourage you. Unhealed pain can also inhibit you from listening to your intuition and daring to follow your dreams. The time has come to face your shadow and heal your trauma so you can expand and grow. We can then partner up, dear heart, and discern what will strengthen us and where to put our love, care, energy, and attention. Interesting. So it's just like the calling action is to place your hands on your heart. If the hurt part had a face and a body, what would it look like? It's a question to ask yourself. Give this archetype permission to share what it feels and what trauma is still carrying, what trauma it is still carrying. Really listen. Imagine a purple flame in front of you, and with your hands held, sorry, I keep misreading words here. So anyways, it says, really listen. Imagine a purple flame in front of you, and with your hands held, with this, I can't stop saying held. What's going on there? With your hands help this part release anything that is ready to let go into the fire. I don't know why I kept saying held, hands held, not help. Hold this aspect close to you and say, dear, give the aspect you're tuning into a name. You are loved, seen, heard, and supported. Together we will now reclaim your power and ability to grow and heal. Allow this part of you to receive this message if you need to. Add anything else and then imagine that this part re-assimilates into your heart in a healthier way, allowing your heart to heal. Keep doing this process daily until you experience deeper healing. Cool. Yeah, so interesting. So it is interesting because I feel like, I don't know, I keep tuning in and it makes me a little confused. This pile is confusing, I think. I think about this injury to the heart that this pile is facing. I feel like it's saying it wasn't just like the shadow of the other person that hurt you, but your own fear that hurts you too. Like your own like deep, like I guess it said in the card, like there is like an injury or a trauma in childhood that is mirroring what is going on for you. It's so interesting because I feel like the wound hurts you so much deeper because it reminded you of that wounding in childhood. So not to say that whatever happened wasn't wrong or not hurtful. It feels like, if anything, I'm just trying to say like it hit you even harder because it was just like layers and layers of stuff that came up with that injury. So very interesting. That being said, let's pull some cards for you guys from the Atlanta Fairchild Medicine Heart deck. Just seeing what you need to hear right now in your highest good pile 2 around this relationship. It's so interesting. I feel like this really isn't about the relationship for this pile. It's all about that inner child wounding that really needs to get addressed. Like, I think that's the question we need to look at. Because I think that's really where the pain and the wounding and the hurt and all that's going on for you is coming from. So let's just ask, anyways, what do you need to know right now in your highest good pile 2? Oh, it's like it's not even really wanting to give me a card for some reason. There we go. Highest good right now. I want those. Okay. It's interesting. I feel like you guys are a little bit all over the place, hey? Like, just tuning into your energy. It's like, even as I was trying to pull cards, I felt like you ask a question, and then you ask a totally different question, and then you go back to another question, and then you're like, what about this? And even the cards are like, this is, I don't know, stick to question. I feel like that's what they're saying. So I just feel like your mind is all over the place. So we have Hayagriva. Wow. So I always see this one more for some reason as like the masculine wounding energy, grieving. I almost feel like grieving their inability to have true expression or something like that. And we have the amulet of Kurukuya. sorry, I forgot to disclose in the intro that I'm bad at pronouncing the names of these cards. Sacred Law of the Northwest. This card's really interesting. Heart of Gaia. Sorry. Wow. So right with the first two cards I'm most drawn to is definitely this one here and this one here, the Sacred Law of the Northwest. This one's so interesting because in the guidebook, it really puts an emphasis on the koalas eating eucalyptus, which is actually really interesting. I pulled this card a few times for myself when I was doing just some personal polls, and I found it so interesting that I actually remembered it, that the koalas eat eucalyptus, which is more toxic to them than it is nutritious, but they still choose to eat it because there is just like enough there that is nutritious or beneficial to them that they eat it anyways. So it's really interesting because the whole theme of the card kind of talks about how maybe if you're in a situation right now where you're like, why did my soul choose to go through with this? Why did my soul choose this? And maybe you believe that everything happens for a reason, that everything's destined, that we have free will, so we chose to go through with the experiences that you've experienced. And the thing I feel like comes through with this card is it says, yes, maybe on a higher conscious level you did choose, but what if the lesson... Okay, sorry, I just had to quickly change my battery there. So I was just saying, what if the lesson your soul chose was in your highest good to learn, and that's why I wanted to learn it. But it's almost a bit more karmic, where you could have maybe have learned it, but it would have taken a lot longer, maybe years longer, to really understand, how do I put it? Like, I'm almost feeling like toxic relationships. Like, you get treated in a way that you do not like and that you will not put up with again, because now you know your value. Now you know that you want someone who appreciates and cherishes this heart, who sees it and loves it and respects it. I don't know if that's exactly the words you'd use, but I just feel like it's saying, yes, maybe your soul did choose this hard lesson, but what lessons did you learn from it? That's what it's... I feel like this card is so tricky because it's heavy, but it's beautiful at the same time. It makes me think of destiny for some reason. If you like using that word, I'm not sure. I almost feel like this pile might use that word a lot. Destiny. Destined for it to happen, destined. I don't know. I just feel like they're just saying use it a lot. Or maybe recently started using it a lot. The other thing I'm also very drawn to is lilies, which, funny enough, is another plant that is very toxic to some things. Like cats and dogs can literally kill them. But it's so interesting that to other people, there's their favorite flowers. A lot of people feel like their favorite flowers are lilies, at least in my family. So I don't know. It's just so interesting. It's almost like if you're having a hard time, like, I guess I was saying with this energy here of this card selection, is it feels like you felt like you offered your heart and then you just let it get destroyed, or you let it just get injured or hurt, and you're like, why did I just like leave it out there like that? You feel like it's saying like it's because now you know how beautiful it really is. Like, there was a lesson here, a karmic lesson that needed to be learned because there was value on a soul level for this relationship to have happened. I do feel like it's like knowing your value, knowing what you do and do not want. And it's like so much deeper than that. It's almost like knowing what you should not stand for, what you should not allow another person to treat you like or be like in a relationship. Yeah, it's so interesting. And the thing with this card too is it talks about only ever acting in integrity with yourself. So even though all this very, I don't know, it's not showing me exact examples of the situation. It's kind of interesting. I feel like this card reading is really talking more about the higher perspective of it all. So hopefully that's what you were wanting to hear, not the more human perspective of it all. Because I do just, yeah, I feel like it's saying like what matters now is that you act in integrity in yourself and in compassion with yourself. So integrity means with integrity with your heart. So I have to clarify that. This is really talking about like what would your heart be proud of your actions at the end of the day? What would your heart feel integrity with you? I don't know, for behaving like. And it's tricky. Like this card is not like as pretty and beautiful and light as it looks. It's a very heavy card because it talks so much about kind of being in the most toxic thing or coming out of the deepest shadows, but remembering that you at the end of the day wanted to learn this lesson in this relationship, on a soul level. Like I do keep saying, I think it was karmic, it was destined. And the thing that you do have free will in, though, is choosing how you respond in your behavior around it. So, like I said, I got this card a lot too because, for example, like today, if you watch my intro, I was so mad and I was like, okay, well, what's so important to me is I stay in integrity with who I am, and I'm not going to let this moment or this information take away from who I am and my own wisdom and my own like person I'm proud of being. And I feel like you're kind of getting like the same vibe. And just, I don't know, it's such an interesting card because it feels like when our soul truly accepts this concept, we are truly at peace. Truly at peace. And all your cards here, everyone has their eyes closed and like they're tuning into their heart. She's holding her heart. Like, damn, heart of Gaja. Like, seriously, dude. And then here, I don't know, all about the interesting. Sorry, I was also noticing there's lots of roses. Yeah, sorry, and I'm also noticing like there's so much red, and I feel like that's just so associated once again with like deep trauma coming through in this relationship. Childhood trauma though, because I keep getting like this person, what they didn't seem kind to you, didn't feel loving. It really, like I said, literally like the koalas eat the toxic thing. The lilies are toxic. It is not a healthy thing. It is toxic. But I feel like the lesson and the growth through it is just so incredible. Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's move on to a different card. I feel like I'm just rambling about that one at this point. Okay, pile 2. So I actually paused this and I thought I was going to get right back to it. And now that I come back to it, I kind of see the relevance of the whole pause, which might seem weird because I can't really totally remember exactly the point of my sentence I had cut out in. But interesting enough, when I'm doing some of these love readings, I would say the shadow self of my ex-partner comes through a lot. Like, how do I mean? Like, I'm opening myself up to hearing it, and then unfortunately, sometimes I hear like, it sounds very weird to say, but almost like and it's not his higher self. It's like his shadow self, and it's almost like, see, this is like, for example, what I'm hearing is like, see, this is like what you did to me, or see this, like it's just like all this stuff, and it just like I was like trying to tune it out, and then I just was like, I can't tune it out. It is like I'm just getting too much information and data from my ex's higher self that I just don't know what to do with it. But so I had to take a break and then I had to go and do a side hustle that I've started. So that it took now it's taken me like 6 hours to get back. So anyways, but the importance of this and why I'm explaining this to you is I'm looking at this amulet of Kukuya card. And I pulled this for myself the other day, and the gist of what I remember of this card was talking about the need to protect your energy, using red to protect your energy from other people's shadow, from other people's ill wishes and kind of things like that. And I'm like, why was it coming up so strong? My ex's like shadow junk coming at me in this card reading specifically, to the point where I had to turn it off. I feel like you might be similar to myself, where maybe you're a little more, like some people would maybe refer to themselves, sorry, that's just my cat Steve looking at me and meowing across the room because I've been gone for a bit. But maybe you call yourself a little bit psychic, sensitive, clairvoyant, into, you know, energy work, some sort of thing. Steve? Hey, Steve. Hey, bud. What's up? What's up, bud? I see you. Yeah, I see you. Sorry, he's strutting this way. Yeah, are you gonna come up? You mouse, come up. You know, introduce yourself, dude. Now you're gonna be shy? Okay, well, anyways, this is Steve. um, anyways, the whole thing I'm getting to is that, unfortunately, if you're just a little, like, extra heightened into, for lack of better words, like, the energy realms, then when you, like, I feel like if your ex is thinking about you about something, whether it's, like, just, I do feel like it would be an X for this pile, which is interesting because when I first tuned in, I was wondering if you were in separation but not truly separated. But now I'm feeling more of a vibe of distance, no communication right now for you two, or not really much communication. But anyways, I just wonder if this is coming through for me, because it's like this is something that maybe has happened to you. Maybe you find like for example, like when my ex was like fantasizing about this woman that he ended up leaving me for, like I didn't want to see it, but like randomly, like very vivid visuals of their sexual encounters were popping into my head, and I was like, this is literally horrible, this is like literally my nightmare, I do not want this. And it kept popping up, and then I eventually realized it was just like, I think they were thinking of me. Like, it's kind of weird to say that I think they were thinking of me in the moment. I don't know in what regard, but it was almost like I would just be like driving, boom, it's in my head, I'm like going to do something, and it was just like, it was disgusting. So I ended up having to just like, it took me probably about 5 or 6 days to really get there and be like, okay, no, like I did some serious ho'oponoponoing, which is just like cutting cords in a more healing and forgiving way, which was hard because I didn't really want to say I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, bless you, and I really see you, release me, because I didn't really mean all those words, but I was like, I need to do this because I feel like I'm tuning in, or I'm still too connected to this person, that when they're thinking so deeply or so strongly into it, I'm getting pulled into their moment, which I really didn't want to be pulled into. So I'm going to rephrase this because I can understand how that would not totally make sense to some people. When you are intimate with someone, you do form a connection, like literally a tie to them. And so if you have been with someone for a while, and say you've been with them recently, that connection is still pretty strong, energetically. Maybe not emotionally, it doesn't feel super strong, but energetically it is. So you might need to clear that energy between the two of you if you find that their higher self, lower self, ego, shadow side, their whatever is literally bothering you, which I think it is if you've got this card. And I like got it so bad that it took me 6 hours to like get back here. So just want to say that, okay? Just gonna say it. So what does Ho'oponopono look like? It is a Hawaiian version of energy cord cutting, where you don't just cut the cord and like hope it goes away. You say I love you, because it comes from the principle that we are all one, and we are all interconnected. And really, so if you say I love you, it's like they're saying I love you to you, and you're kind of saying it to them. I'm sorry. So it's kind of like you're saying it, but they also are saying it to you. Please forgive me. You're asking for forgiveness, but they're also asking you for yours. thank you. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for teaching me this lesson. The same thing is coming from them. It's also coming from you. And then the thing I added in is you can say, God bless you. I just wanted to think of the highest source, bless you, and I wish you the best. Because to me, that's the true way to say goodbye. Is like, I don't want any bad karma on you because I don't want any bad karma on me. I want you to have your life and I want to have mine, and I release you and you release me. So I just kind of add that in because to me that was really important to like state and clarify that I'm releasing you and you're releasing me. There is no energy tie here anymore. So I feel like you could benefit from doing that and saying it a few times. Because like I said, I don't think it's so much your energy. I think it's them coming at you. So, and like I mean, no one's really doing this consciously. I feel like this ex of yours, just looking at I don't know, like this comes so much from the being wounded by the masculine energy. So, I mean, they cheated, so I just feel like it's just like that less sexual aggression, base chakra kind of masculine energy. And I feel like that's the energy, if you're like me, that is like literally following you sometimes, which I'm so sorry if you're also experiencing this in any way, because it makes you feel a little more crazy, and it almost is like you don't have your thoughts to yourself. Someone else's thoughts are pushing in. So I really, really do want to recommend that clearing for you and for yourself. And then if you ever feel like it's coming up again, just do the Ho'oponopono again. And you say it a few times until you feel good. Like, I think if you even think about them, you can think of like kind of putting your hand up and being like, no, I don't want your stuff. I release you and you release me. You keep your chaos over there, and I'm gonna live in my bubble of bliss. Like, and maybe you're not totally there yet with feeling like totally okay with it, but you have just such a right to not take on their chaos and their turmoil and destruction and whatever. I just feel like your ex is in some weird ass energy right now. Okay, so especially with this whole like healing heart and just so much wounding and healing, and the toxicity card that came through earlier about recognizing the relationship is toxic. Okay. The other thing here, the heart of Gaja, if I'm saying that right, elephants, all about family, soul connections, supportive people. I get hardcore friend vibes, very supportive friend vibes. Sorry, I just got distracted by the little birds that are looking at the elephant, and I just feel like they feel so supportive, like reminding you of your beauty, of your bliss, of your, like, just surround yourself with good people, okay? So if your family is supportive, then go there. If your friends are supportive, go there. And I feel like it's just like being able to come to them with what's like basically done this to your heart, and just have them support you and hold you. So you're not supporting them right now. You are not trying to make them feel like you're okay. You're just being you, and you're struggling, and that is okay. Okay? Okay? I feel like that's really important to say to this pile. Just holding space for your vulnerable heart. Because if you look at this, the card you chose is a hands with the heart being held, and then here is another person who has their heart out in their hands. So I just feel like there's such an importance here on you not letting this, for lack of better words again, defeat you. Like, how do I put this? Like, don't let this person's actions and their energy, do not let it like ruin you. I know that sounds so weird, but like, don't become the person who closes their hands on that heart and never lets it out again. Do not let that ruin that, because I feel like the most beautiful part of you is that you are, I feel so, what is the word they're saying? Not soft-hearted, gentle-hearted? I think that's it, gentle-hearted. Very open, and it's like you believe in love. You believe in the power of love, for lack of better words. And because you believe in that, I want you to know and see that this was not a loving relationship on their actions towards you, okay? That was not love. There is great love out there. And unfortunately, this person was not truly holding that beautiful, loving energy for you. And I don't feel like they could, not because of anything about you, but I feel like because of them. I feel like they were injured and wounded and not not fully even in connection with their own emotions and selves, that they couldn't possibly have truly loved you as deeply as you were prepared to love them, because they're too much in their shadow. Like, even when I see this card too, I feel like I see this like this wounded person who acts all strong, but then like there is like no heart energy there. It's just cold. They are not looking at their own shadow. They're not looking at their own trauma. They cannot be the loving person that you needed. Okay, I really need you to hear me here, that this is not your fault. It's not that you are not lovable. It is that they did not deal with their own trauma to allow themselves to be so emotionally open and be able to have emotional intimacy to the level that you needed. Okay, so that's why it's coming through, that is so important that you make sure that you are not staying tied or too connected to their energy, because this is not going to be healthy for you. I feel like you're going to get dragged down into their chaoticness. And usually, if someone cannot see their shadow to the extent that I feel like this person cannot see theirs, they will not be making very good decisions right now. They will be making very destructive decisions, and we do not want you to get pulled into that, okay? So that's another reason why we're gonna really want you to cut off that attachment with them. And it's interesting because usually do not use those words, but I feel like in this case, oh, hello, Steve, you came back. It is really important that you disconnect from their energy. And I feel like they are thinking about you. I do feel like they are, for whatever reason. I feel like some of you are like, why? You know what? Maybe we could ask that. I don't know if I have a deck here that's going to be... maybe this one. Or no, karma cards. Karma cards would be great. Okay, let's use those. Why are they maybe thinking about you still? I want to say it's a control thing, but I don't know that. That is my mind coming in. So let's just ask the karma cards. Why are they doing this? Why are they not letting you go? Although they have, I think, let you go, which is the confusing part. So we have things brought to light. Do what you must do. Details. Good for us. Okay. What you value. Be positive about, grow, and expand. Okay. It is interesting. Okay, so I actually, like, some of these cards can seem a little random, but what I'm getting from this, like, I just feel like with some of these cards, they're talking about opposite of values and priorities. Like, I can't stop seeing that. Like, here I see like what you value, and then I feel like it's like then they just do what they want to do. I don't know, it's so interesting. Your beliefs and your values are so important to you, but I feel like for them, their beliefs and values are more moldable, adaptable, changeable, which I feel like is like just like something that just wouldn't align with you guys. But so like, why are they not letting you go? Services to others, what is good for us, your work as a full-time job, do it a little bit. Okay, yeah, I don't know, I just keep getting like, I just think gaining for respect from those. Okay, let me pause. I don't know, I kind of feel like your energy is a lot more nurturing. I feel like you're a lot, just, it seems like you're someone who is quite invested in relationship, in love. I don't know if I'd call you a hopeless romantic. No, I think I just call you someone who's very loyal. And stand by what they say. And like the beliefs and values for you are very, very important. And even like this whole grow and expand and like grow through things and work together, I feel like that's all your vibe. For them, I feel like it's more like, I don't know. I think this is the problem. Like, I feel like you're really in your, like, bliss. I don't know, for lack of better words. Like, you're trying to do better. You're trying to be a good human. You're very, like, kind of aware, self-awareness. But then when you tune into your partners, or sorry, your exes, or I'm not really sure your relation, so energy, it still feels like I'm just getting part of it. I'm just getting the shadow aspect of it. So I'm seeing why it's not getting along with your energy. So I just wonder if this in itself is one of those things where it says like this is toxic, but I think the way this all ends, the fact that you get to leave it, I feel like does feel freeing for you all in the long run. Because I just like when you're looking at the energies, you're so sincere and they're not able to be authentic. So it's so weird. It's like it almost just doesn't make sense to see someone who's so beautiful and loving and wanting the best and willing to grow through and work through things, even if things aren't easy. And then see someone who is like in the opposite energy. It's like, whoa, how are they even with you? Like, I almost want to be like, how do they even deserve you? So it's so fascinating because I'm not sure how this all happened to you, but I would imagine that you didn't see it in that light. You didn't see it as, like, they didn't deserve you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel like with your energy too, I feel like it maybe just like didn't dawn on you. Didn't dawn on you that they just weren't being a great human. And like maybe you know that, but I feel like you don't like internally really feel that. But you're learning to. I think that's what I keep getting with this card here. Yeah, okay. So I do kind of want to read a. Maybe I'll just even read this one from the guidebook because I just feel like these cards are so great. I don't think I did that earlier. Sorry if I did, but I don't think I did. Okay, let me just find it here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it says the soul recognizes the choices that will facilitate alignment with its authentic path and spiritual dimensions from which it originates. Such integrity is not externally motivated, but internally driven. At a certain stage on the path, the soul will no longer rely on societal beliefs as the best barometer for conduct and will cultivate a more mature, spiritually aligned inner code that resonates with its particular understanding of sacred law. To find your way through any matter of concern, take your time to reflect upon your choices until you sense that which resonates with your heart. Many blessings as yet unseen will flow as you remain in alignment with your soul's inner code. And then it says, Qualis soul medicine is complex. Yeah. I just feel like it's saying like, this is such a complex card in the sense, like I was saying, it talks all about like soul choices, learning lessons that are really hard, but then coming through it with a strong heart. I think that's really what I would love for this pile to really take away, is like this heart is still open and you're still like, you're not shutting it off, and that is so amazing, and keep doing that. That is so important, okay? Do not shut down because of this person's treatment of you or what they have done to you, even though it is awful and it was not okay and you deserve so much better. I just feel like you know that you still want to find that aligned person, that person who can mirror your level of love, or meet that level of intimacy and love and support and loyalty that you're wanting. And I think you're going to get it. Even that's the other thing I get with this card, is it's saying you are aligning with the thing that is better, even though it is so hard to hear sometimes in the midst of all this. You are aligning with it, okay? I'm so sorry that this is all happening. It is so hard. And I just even see like this koala is just giving such a cute little hug, and yeah, it's not very easy for you right now, and I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm so sorry. I feel like, yeah, really, really just try to disconnect this best and set up boundaries best as you can with this person. Maybe, I mean, I don't know your situation. If you can physically block them on social media, like maybe you still have to be in contact via like phone for some reason to figure some things out. I'm not sure, but maybe at the least block them on your social media. Do not like. I feel like their energy is so gross. Like I just don't want to see it near yours. Yours is very beautiful and it needs time to heal, and theirs is like overwhelming it and dragging you into their crazy, which is not nice. It's not nice at all. I don't like it. But it is their shadow aspect. It's not their entire person. It's just their shadow is really inflated right now and just running the show. I'm not sure what happened to them, but they're just, yeah, it's all going to get settled and it's not really your responsibility to worry about them at all. So we just want to get you separated from that and just surrounded by your support system right now, okay? And really nurturing that heart of yours. Okay. I love you guys. You are so great. You deserve to be happy. You deserve not to take this on. And I feel like I just can't say enough. So I'm just going to have to let you go. And good luck. Have a good night or a good morning or a good day. And you just take it easy on yourselves. Hello, pile 3. So here we have the curious heart, embark on a great adventure. So I'm very curious about this one. I'm not picking up a lot of specifics on what's going on with that, so I'm going to pull some cards here and just get some more clarity, really. So let's see, we are just asking, what does your highest self want you to know right now? What would I like you to know right now, pile 3? All in your high school. Okay, it's interesting. I feel like all the files got different numbers of cards. Okay, we have the Heagriva. We have, Matter, Materia Medica. Wow. Okay, and we have Nest at the North. Really neat. I really like this card. I actually haven't seen this one come through before. Number 4. Really neat. I might actually just take a second to try to find this in the guidebook and just get its vibe because I like its energy. And I feel like it's really connected to the card you chose here. So actually, maybe I'll even just read it for you guys. And we can all get on the same page. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it says, you have the innate spiritual capacity to heal yourself, tame wild forces, and generate light. Your heart can naturally attract all that you need to heal and accomplish your life purpose. Positive manifestations can unfold rapidly in your life like fast-growing bamboo. The red hibiscus of the divine feminine symbolizes the flow of positive energy towards you and the repelling of negativity. Rest your inner gaze within your heart, and you will align yourself with the positive turnaround of events that will generate sweetness in your life and spiritual benefit for all beings. Materia medica is Latin for medicinal substances. An ancient Egyptian medical text identifies the magical and medicinal objects and practices, including plants, minerals, amulets, spells, and invocations. Our Earth Mother generously generates abundant resources for healing. She is our materia medica, our medicine mother. She provides herbal remedies and objects of sacred power, animal spirit guides, and ley lines that distribute global energies to connect and vitalize sacred power places all around the planet. She also provides the opportunities, events, and precious people that converge to co-create divine destinies to benefit all. Okay, you know what's so interesting is that last sentence there. It's okay if you didn't like really take in anything I just said. I felt so like it was so important, the location of this card. I don't know why. It's like the location is really important. And this person looking over here with curiosity and wonder, and I feel like desiring expansion, is looking at wherever she is in this card. So I feel like right now, if you are debating going traveling, this is your yes. This is your confirmation that that is what you should do. If you haven't even thought about that and that's not even something on your radar, I would not worry about it. But I just feel like that is such a strong theme here. And I keep getting the analogy of like gaining golden wisdom, which might mean something to you, gaining golden wisdom. And there's so much gold in these cards. Gold about gold, expansion, growth. I feel like you might be one of these piles where you're like, I want to go to a Buddhist temple and just meditate, or I want to go and learn how to be a yoga instructor in India or Bali, or I don't know, but I feel like travel and expansion and new culture experiences is so, so big right now for this group. Clarity, I feel like clarity comes from it and knowing yourself. Like there's such an inner journey here. And the Nest card is all about following your life purpose. Oh my gosh, there's so much here about following your life purpose and like just letting it take you wherever it's going to take you and just trusting that the universe will unravel as it should in divine timing for you. What does this all mean? This has nothing to do with your ex. I just feel like this is like there is something that happened and you're like, I don't want to run away, but I feel like I need to do this. And I think this is just opportunity, to be honest. Opportunity. I feel like been a clear break in your life. So with the partner, maybe with housing, maybe like I feel like you lost responsibilities that would have held you back from taking this journey. And oranges, I don't know. I gotta Google that. I can't stop looking at the 2 orange slices that are in this person's hand. Here, I'll show you in case you can't wait to see it. 2 oranges. Orange slices, more specifically. So let's ask the great power of Google. What does this mean? Spiritual meaning, I want to say of tangerine. That is the word that's coming to me. Okay, active joy lives out of the essence of gratitude and on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, ooh, I'm feeling that. That's right where it is. Okay, so it says the orange family is sure to be certain that it belongs right where it is. I think that's just it. I feel like there's like this question about belonging in the world that you might be asking yourself. Who am I? Like I feel like there's this wanting to self-discover and to know oneself deeper. Know your heart deeper. Know who you are. Such a curiosity point coming from this. And I feel like this is where you're going to go and find it. And I feel like there's like this wisdom in going to people who can guide you and support you. Because right now you almost feel like you're trying to figure things out on your own, which, you know, sometimes that's like the right thing to do, but I feel like you could use a mentor or a guide on this realm, not on the exterior realm, because I feel like this pile might have a hard time grounding in concepts. I don't know, that might just, I don't know if that's for everyone, but it's kind of like I can't quite put my finger on what's going on here. I kind of have it. I feel like I'm only seeing an aspect of it, so yeah. So when we get over here, this is talking all about, it came up in the last pile, all about the wounded masculine energy, which is fascinating. I'm like, is this pile? If you choose this pile, are you more likely a male? You might be, I don't know. You could be anything. It doesn't really matter. It's just curious because I feel like it's like saying like this card is all about trauma, all about childhood trauma, suppression of emotion, of authenticity, of feeling like you cannot be yourself, of being kind of guarded or cold emotionally. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but when I see this card, it feels cold. Not a lot of vibrancy, not a lot of emotion being allowed to be set free. And I feel like there is a wounding here around that, and this is kind of what you are getting curious about going deeper on. So I wonder if you, yeah, you know what, this is a really hard pile for me to read. I feel like you're very guarded, very closed, and I mean, if you picked this pile, I mean, you were just cheated on, you just went through a breakthrough, you went through a lot of shit, dude. You know, it makes sense that you're a little guarded, so don't beat yourself up about that. But it does just make it a little tricky for me to really try to tune in here because I can only see the surface. I can't see deeper, but I even think that is part of this card and this healing here. And this is even why you're wanting to get up and go, for lack of better words. Who are you? Yeah. Who is the authentic, true you? I think that is just like a really big message. I'm trying to even ask if there's anything else to ask you guys. I think that's just the biggest thing right now. Some kind of trip that I think you're reading about. So, okay, I'm pretty stuck on that. So let's just ask for, okay, sorry, they also said I could read this card. That would bring more clarity. The Curious card. What guidance do you need to know right now? Okay, we have Sun. Your wish is granted. Do some research. Connect with nature. Okay, Sun card. Okay, split meaning. So you just choose what resonates. Some of you are hoping to have a son, which is interesting. So some of you are pregnant, and some of you have a partner or an ex that is pregnant. And you're hoping it's a son. And then if that doesn't resonate, don't worry. If some of you, it's just referring and talking about the injury of the masculine, and your inner masculine being wounded, whether you're female or male. So it's kind of interesting. And for some of you, I think it's both. Like you have this injury of this energy, and you're also trying to have a son. So anyways, interesting. I'm not going to get too stuck on that. I feel like some of you are like, what? If you know you're trying to have a kid, you know you're trying to have a kid. Or if you're trying to get pregnant, you know that. So your wish is granted. What you've asked for is coming true. It feels like just confirmation for y'all who are just asking a question. Do some research, connect with nature. I do feel like these cards are also talking further about this trip. I do feel like it is important to do a little bit of research about it. It's interesting when I tune into it, it's like not needing to plan everything out, like to be so organized, everything's figured out feels not good, but to have a little more organization than you currently have, because I feel like you just have like a desire and that's it. And I can almost feel like there'll be the situation won't unravel as gracefully as it could, or be as smooth as it could, if you don't do a little bit of research and prep. Maybe you need to tell someone that you're quitting a job, or maybe you need to tell someone that you need like someone to watch a pet or something. I don't know. There feels like there's something there where it's like you need to communicate something, but I feel like maybe you already know what that is. For a smoother transition of everything, connect with nature. I just feel like that is what this is all going to be. Like I think you're going to be somewhere where the people around you teach you to connect in with the land there. And yeah, your wish is granted. I just feel like it's saying like that there is like a freedom or a responsibility that was holding you back, and now you have the time or the space to be able to do this activity. So now is your opportunity if there's ever going to be one. So I guess the question is what are you waiting for? And then, lastly, I'll just read this. Sorry, this pile is a little bit shorter than the other ones, but like I said, I can't really tune in deeper for some reason. So I guess it's meant to be a secret, or for you to discover yourself. I think that's a big message here, as this is all about learning more about yourself and what you want. So it says, "Dear heart, I absolutely adore when you show your cheeky, curious spirit. I love your desire to learn, discover, and co-create. I know that whenever you encounter something that inspires you, you swell up with joy, color, and juiciness. You encourage me to try new things, guide me forward, and challenge me to become more daring. And when I listen, I become light, energized, and full of aliveness. I know I feel incredible when we are truly connected, yet I tend to ignore you, become over serious, and sweat the small stuff. I'm sorry for neglecting you and making you feel like everything else is more important than exploring and learning. I know that curiosity can lead me to the discovery of my own unique nature and the most thrilling adventures. Dear heart, please open yourself to me so that we can embark on our greatest adventure." Oh, I almost feel like it's, yeah, talking about going on a relationship with just you, just your heart, and specifically your heart, because I feel like this pile, and I think maybe you're catching on to that. I wonder if sometimes you've thought or mistaken logic for your heart's wisdom. Um, and I think this is something you'll discover, or uncover, like to really know the difference between logic and reason and justification versus like heart knowing. And I really want to say, like, obviously you know what you've done it at some point because you know that you're not as connected as you would like to be. So yeah, I know this was a little bit of a random reading compared to what I had anticipated. But if this is what came through, I'll just trust it's what you needed to hear, and it was all in your highest good. So good luck, you guys. I feel like there's just such an incredible journey coming your way. So yeah, just wishing you the best, and maybe I'll catch you around.